Alright, y'all, let's talk Mega Evolutions. Now, this has been a topic that people have been predicting and discussing essentially since Pokemon Go came out, how it would come into the game. As you guys know, I've said it a million times, after Generation 5, I am essentially lost. That was around the time I had to start growing up and doing adult things, but people have been asking a lot about it on my channel and been messaging me and asking me to cover it, so I've done about 2.5 weeks worth of research, so I think I'm versed enough to go ahead and discuss this. So the first thing we need to do is discuss how it's going to be introduced. Now, the big thing we've seen through all of the advertisements is the Mega symbol. With everything that happens in Pokemon Go, I think we can almost guarantee out of an assumption that it's going to be a Mega Stone to do the evolution. But how will that Mega Stone work? Is it going to be you get one Mega Stone and you put it to the Pokemon and they hold it, and that specific Pokemon gets a Mega Evolution and stays that way as long as it has the stone? Is it going to be like Sinnoh Stones and other stuff where they make it harder, like at first the Unova Stone was almost impossible to get a hold of? Are they going to do it like that, and you can get more than one, but it's just not easy to do? Or, as the Trainer Club predicted, and thinks it might have something to do with it, is the buddy system. Now, the thing that I would think with the buddy system is you'll notice once you have an Ultra Buddy, you can get souvenirs. So if they do incorporate the buddy system into how Megas will work, are you going to have to like get to best buddy with it, and then after that, instead of getting a souvenir, you can get a Mega Stone? It's a lot to question, but let me know your thoughts and predictions down in the comments. I honestly don't know where to start because Niantic throws curveballs left and right. So what we're going to do is talk about my top 15 Mega Evolutions and how to prioritize them and why. The first thing I'm going to say is shout out to the Trainer Club, Couple of Gaming, and Famous Last Words YouTube. All of the numbers are from them and the predictions from Billy, obviously. So let's hop into first the buddy system. If Billy is right in his prediction, all of the Pokemon you're going to want for these Mega Evolutions for prioritization, start working your best buddy now. If you don't have the ability to do Poffins, now I don't do Poffins, I do them when they come in boxes and you can get them easily, but other than that, I do walking, battles, and feeding berries, but you can rotate up to 20 Pokemon a day. If you've got time to just flip through it every half hour and do a berry, that's at least going to get you for Battle Together, Take a Snapshot, and berries. You can get 5 hearts a day with 20 different Pokemon at minimum. I highly recommend doing that. The next is going to be which Pokemon. Now, all of these 4 estimates are dependent on moveset. Moveset is the biggest thing, and the reason I say that is because, one, a Mega Evolution isn't a new stage, it's a new form. So it's not like Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, it's Charizard goes into form X or Y, for example. So I don't necessarily think when it goes into Mega, it's going to lose its moveset. If I'm correct on that, all of these Pokemon will be highly meta relevant because of that, because of their specific moves. The first 2 I'm going to cover are the Mewtwo's. They are godly. Now, these numbers, for example, Mewtwo X maxes out at level 40 at 5,429 CP. Now, again, this is a calculation, it is an estimate, but it's also an estimate coming from Couple of Gaming, who we know works directly with Niantic. Now, this could either be an estimation from them, or Niantic helped sway their numbers. We don't know, but it could be. So, Mewtwo X is going to be a fighting psychic type, which is going to essentially make it a Medicham on steroids with over 5,000 CP, and if it's buddy boosted, to level 41, that's well into what that would be 5,500 plus CP. That's absolutely insane. And Medicham is one of the ones we're going to cover, but I mean, this is literally a Medicham that can go into Great, Ultra, and Master, and also, well, actually not Premier, because Premier doesn't allow legendaries. So these are going to be ones, the legendaries obviously are going to be meta relevant for Master League and anything under that because they're not allowed in Premier Cup. Next is going to be Mewtwo Y, which is going to max out at level 40 at 5,687, buddy boosted at level 41, we're assuming well over 5,700. So Mewtwo being the biggest and best psychic type attacker in the game, this is just going to increase that by over 1,000 CP, bringing its attack stat up. I think, now these numbers are older, but one of the base attack stats I saw of Mega Mewtwo Y was like 426. That's like doubling its attack. That's absolutely insanity. And then Primal Kyogre and Groudon both max out at 5,227 CP. And think about this. One of the most sought after Pokemon in PvP is Alolan Marowak. But most people already have theirs or have their shiny by now. I still don't, by the way, and are searching for it and trying to do it. If you have two people with Primal Kyogres maxed out, that could be a game changer in doing, for example, duos on Alolan Marowak. Now, I don't know if people still pull it off. I know the last time my wife and I with maxed out counters tried to do it, we got slaughtered, and it took 4 of us to actually take down Marowak. So with something being an additional 1,000 CP, raising its attack stat, its stamina, its defense, is going to be a game changer in the raid meta and the PvP meta. Like I said, Great, Ultra, and Master, these are already meta relevant Pokemon, but if they have megas that can be used in this, it's going to be a whole new game changer. But also some of these are going to be game changers for Premier Cup, because in Premier Cup you cannot use legendaries and mythicals. So the next one we'll look at is Mega Rayquaza, which is 5,055 CP, and it's another one of those. It's just, Rayquaza is an amazing attacker, being the dragon flying type. It helps take out so many bosses. We used it for, I want to say it was either Virizion or Cobalion duos, I don't remember, but maxed out Rayquaza teams help you duo so many things, and again, meta relevancy. The next, we're going to go into the non-legendaries that will be allowed in the game. The first one I'm going to look at, everyone talks about, is Charizard X, because it goes to Fire Dragon type. There's a thing about it, with Charizard X, it does become the same type as Reshiram. However, it maxes out at, where is it? 3,850 CP at level 40, and then 41 you can probably get it in the 3,900s, whereas Reshiram maxes out over 4,000 already and is the same type. But Charizard could be a competitor in that because of the fast attacks. Charizard has fire dominant fast attacks where Reshiram doesn't, so Charizard can charge much faster than Reshiram. So that's where it could be a little bit of a game changer, even though it's smaller and Reshiram is already considered the best in the game right now. It could change with Mega Charizard X because of the fact that it can learn a better fast attack. If we get a better fast attack on Reshiram, there's essentially no point in Charizard other than the fact that it holds Blast Burn. If you have one with Blast Burn, I have 100%, it doesn't have Blast Burn, but Elite TMs are a thing if I decide to do that. So Charizard is one in there that if you don't have a good Reshiram, but you do have a good Charizard, it can be a contender. The next one, obviously, Mega Swampert. Swampert is already dominant in Great, Ultra, Master, and Premier. You all know Swampert is my worst enemy, but Mega Swampert is going to be my worster enemy. Yes, I just made up a word, worster enemy at 3,691. Most people already have theirs buddy boosted. I've seen it. And again, if we go by the assumption that because it's not evolving to a new, it's not going up a new evolution level and new stage, it's just a new form, assuming it can keep Hydro Cannon, that's gonna suck for me. Venusaur. Now, Venusaur at 3,698 CP, again, assumed number, with Buddy Boost, will put it at the best grass type attacker in the game, and it's going to be a counter to a lot of things for you with that Frenzy Plant. So if you have high 90s or 100%, I do have like 3 100% with Frenzy Plant. If that becomes a way to evolve with keeping that moveset, that's going to be the best grass type attacker in the game. So you're going to want to prioritize all of these. The next one is going to be Beedrill. It just had its community day. It got Drill Run, and Mega Beedrill is maxing out at 3,393, just right under 3,400, which can now put it in a contender for Great, Ultra, Master, and Premier, and it is a killer for those Registeals. So we have amazing opportunities that went from a Pokemon that can only technically compete in Great and possibly Ultra. It can now go into all of the cups. So for those that just had the community day and stocked up on them, I did get a 100%, and I also got a rank 1 for Great League. So that's going to be a game changer there. Now my big question is going to be on these for the Mega Evolutions. Do the CPs change automatically? So if you already have, for example, my rank 1 sits right below 1500 CP. If I Mega Evolve it, is it going to blast, like, what's the evolution multiplier, and is there going to be an evolution multiplier, or do you have to power it up yourself? I assume, because most of these are going by level 40 numbers already maxed out, if it's already where it needed to be and you Mega Evolve it, it's going to go above what you needed it to for that certain class. So we're going to need to know the number facts on that. Next is going to be Medicham. This is a game changer for Medicham because it puts Medicham at 2,495, meaning Medicham can now be good in Great and Ultra, and maxed out. I don't think at 2,495 you can have it buddy boosted, which is going to be, that's the question right there, is if you have to have it buddy boosted, I think it only does the buddy boost if you have it as your buddy. So I guess you could buddy boost it and go back and forth, but that's another question of if you Mega Evolve it, is it staying Mega Evolved, or if you take the stone off, does it come back? Because that'll make a big difference too in all of these. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments on that one, because I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work. Because like I said, in the main series, when this came out, it wasn't something that stayed as a Mega Evolution. When you were in the battle, it could Mega Evolve at a certain point, and then when it was over, it went back. I don't think they're going to do that because they don't really follow the way certain mechanics in the original series worked in Pokemon Go. So if they don't, I think once you do the evolution, it's going to be done and you're stuck with it. Next, we'll look at Lucario. Mega Lucario is going to max out at 3,826. Currently, my Lucario, I think I have the 96% shiny, and it maxes out right below 2,700. So you're talking 1,100 CP difference, putting this into, again, Great League, Ultra League, and Master League as a contender, being able to break that 3,000 CP barrier and go well above and beyond. And I already have, I want to say, 2 best buddy Lucarios, so that'll definitely be one to look into. And that's another thing, is shinies. These are going to have to come out as a Mega Evolution and Mega Evolutions with shinies when they do it, or are they going to block the shiny evolution? Because I've only seen, I want to say, 3 different Megas I've actually seen renderings of their shinies. So we got to see how that one's going to work too, because if I'm going to do all of this work to get a Mega Evolution, if I have it shiny and a good IV worth doing, I want to make sure I can. Charizard Y is the next one we'll hop into, 3,738. Essentially, Charizard Y is just a steroid-induced Charizard. It's the same typing, the same movesets, just a much larger CP and base attack, defense, and stamina stat. Next is going to be Metagross. Metagross is another one of those that wrecks me every time I come across it in PvP, because every time I try to put in a counter for it, it's always the wrong counter, or it's the right counter, but it's still not resistant, but it's super effective. It's a pain. But Mega Metagross is going to be 4,112 CP. That's going to do some serious damage, but I mean, if you think about it, that's one of the smaller Megas in my opinion, because it only gains about a 300-400 CP difference depending on your IV for it. Garchomp. Mega Garchomp is going to be putting in work, 4,526 CP. It's going to put in damage on dragon types. It's going to put in damage. It's a great Pokemon, and Mega Garchomp is one of those ridiculously high tanks. It's going to help a lot, but it does have its weaknesses. I think it's going to be one to prioritize. Last on the top 15 for me is Tyranitar. 4,472 CP with a very high attack, defense, and stamina increase. The thing is, with it being the rock and dark type, it is going to be double weak to fight. So whereas it is going to put in work on a lot of different types, it's also going to be double weak to fight. Now, the big thing about all of these, before I go into the last one I wanted to cover, because it's not one that everyone can get a hold of, is rating. Like I said with the Primal Kyogre and Groudon, Primal Kyogre is a top defensive and offensive team against many different types of raids. It has ridiculous DPS already, and I assume it's only going to get better with Primal Kyogre. With Mega Tyranitar, if you have a team of SmackDown Stone Edge Tyranitar already, and you go a team of Mega Tyranitars, think about, we were duoing Moltres during Raid Day with Tyranitar. Duoing them. So that was before I had maxed out teams. That was before I was even level 40, and we were duoing Moltres. So if we have 2 people with teams like that, or for example Deoxys, Mewtwo, if they bring Mewtwo back, or when they bring Deoxys back and things like that, these are going to change the gym, raid, and PvP meta to ways that hopefully will be astounding, fun, and help those that currently can't go anywhere. And assuming with, California shutting back down, I hear my home state is getting ready to start shutting back down because we opened up too early and shouldn't have. But if people are still having to do remote raids, raid from home, hard to coordinate groups, and even when they do coordinate groups and they do the raid invite system, the more damage you can do, the more strength you have, the better Pokemon you have, the easier it is for the community to get together and do these things. Now, the last one I wanted to cover was Mega Heracross. Now, the reason I saved this one is because it's not one that everyone can get a hold of. I actually have, as my buddy right now, I just switched from Mewtwo because I hit Best Buddies, my 100% IV, fully maxed out double moveset at Heracross, because I used to live in Florida. I collected on a bunch of them and was lucky enough to find one 100% with all of the Heracross that I have, but it's going to max out at 4,033 CP. Now, with it being a bug fighting type, Heracross was always recommended for a lot of things, but even 100% maxes out right at 3,000 CP. So we're looking at 4,000 CP for a maxed out hundo, just below 4,000 with a high 90s, low 90s. It's going to be a new top contender if you have a Heracross, and if you don't, luckily for all of you guys, if you ever get the chance to meet me, I made sure to collect a bunch of them before we came out to California, and we'll actually be taking a trip back to Florida soon. I'm going to collect up on even more of them now that I have more bag space available to bring them if you haven't gotten them from an event or haven't been able to go anywhere that has them. I have plenty of them to trade if we ever meet, but I don't know. I think Mega Evolutions are going to be absolutely great, and just to go over the list, I think we have a total of 50 Mega Evolutions, and you know, we have Blastoise we didn't go over, Pidgeot, Alakazam, Slowbro, Gengar, Kangaskhan, Pinsir, Gyarados, Aerodactyl, Ampharos, which gets the same typing as Reshiram, Steelix, Scizor, Houndoom, Sceptile, Blaziken, Gardevoir, Sableye, Mawile, Aggron, Manectric, Sharpedo. All of these you see up on screen right now. Latios and Latias are beautiful megas, but there are other ones that are better. Lopunny, Abomasnow, and then Audino. I don't know why Audino needed a Mega Evolution. And then the last one, Deontay, I think that's how you pronounce it, but yeah, 50 Mega Evolutions, but those were what I believe are the top 15 and what you should prioritize if you're going to follow along the trend with Billy and doing the best buddies for the potential Mega Evolution system / buddy system. I think he's onto something there, and that might be how we do end up getting the Evolution Stone for it. I don't know. We could be completely wrong. We could be kind of right. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts and predictions down in the comments. Let me know what you're looking forward to the most out of Mega Evolutions. Honestly, for me, with how many relevant ones there are and meta-relevant ones there are, Heracross was my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, and the fact that I have 100 and it got its own Mega Evolution, I think that's going to be my favorite personally, especially if we get shiny Heracross anytime soon, and you know, that pink Heracross, that's absolutely amazing. That would be an amazing Mega Evolution. But let me know what you're looking forward to the most. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Mega Evolutions coming. And if you guys do like the information-based videos like this, I love doing them. I just don't want to, I guess, bore you guys. But if you want me to do more of them, let me know down in the comments. I'm going to get out of here and get this edited, and I will catch you guys in the next one.